southeast Alaska and the interior of Alaska. Now I serve the whole region from Anchorage to Kaktovik on the Beaufort Sea over to St. Lawrence Island. So I've been privileged to be here serving in a number of ways. And I'm glad to be standing here today. The principle that we Christians call the preferential option for the poor refers to a trend throughout the Judeo-Christian Bible, a preference being given to the well-being of the poor and the powerless of society and the teachings and the commands of God. It's taught in the Bible, it's taught by the prophets and by many other righteous people. This preferential option for the poor has to be the underlying principle that guides Christian leaders in our evaluation of the various healthcare attempts that come through Washington, including this one. When we look at the current bill, it fails miserably. In its current form, this bill cuts Medicaid, which is one of the most important providers of health care for the poor and the powerless. None of the members of our Alaska delegation should vote for any version of a health care bill that fails to provide for the poor and the powerless. Such a vote would give support to immoral legislative decisions. Some are arguing that we should not require poor people to pay for health care if they don't wish it, even through a subsidized program. But I know that America has never been about survival of the privileged, but survival of all people. And indeed, as we've come together in Alaska, we know very well that we don't survive the Alaskan winters unless we're very privileged, except when we come together as a community, when we support one another. It's that kind of value that Alaskans know about, but also that Americans know about. The people who came from far away to this country were not the ones who were considered the most well-to-do or the most desirable of citizens. It tended to be the ones who felt that they were cast off from their societies. We need to understand that we stand together because that's who we are as Americans. And when that kind of diversity comes together and makes connections, we find that God is in that. That we are formed in ways we would never have dreamed because of the connections we make with one another. Because God is in all of it. According to the Judeo-Christian traditions, caring for the needs of the poor and the powerless is not optional. How to pay for it is a good question, but caring for those needs, the needs of those that Jesus called the least of these, my brothers and sisters, is not optional. The Senate showed wisdom in slowing passage of the bill this week, and it stands as an immoral bill. It needs work. In the end, Christians and other spiritual people will judge it, especially by whether the law is guided. Will judge it especially by whether the law is guided by the principle of a preferential option for the poor, and it does not do that now.